Welcome back to Cryptos Are Us. I'm George. We're all George. So, Kansas City. Let's talk about that. Let's talk a little bit about the Super Bowl, but also, of course, let's concentrate on Bitcoin and how this massive rally will not only drive Bitcoin above $50,000, but towards 70,000 to a new high soon. Very, very soon. This massive rally is coming, and there's nothing that will stop it. So let's talk about it, and let's talk about everything else that's going on today. Welcome, 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 guys. Look at, we're starting the day pretty good. Above $48,000. Of course, we had a big pump. I mean, we had a big pump for an entire week. But we did pump above 48,000. This was, what, Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. No, maybe Sunday morning. We pumped above. We couldn't break through this 48.1. We broken through. We went down a little bit yesterday, but now we're right back above. Yesterday, actually, during Super Bowl, Bitcoin almost pumped up to 49,000. Don't know what happened there. There was a sudden spike upwards, but we are looking like we want to rally. We want to rally hard. We're going up right now, 48.2, right? Things are looking very, very, very good right now. So, unfortunately, we didn't hit 50,000 this weekend, but who knows? We could be hitting 50,000 today. That would not surprise me at all if we pumped up to 50,000, and the next stop up is around 52,000. So yeah, things are looking good today. Of course, yesterday was the Super Bowl. A lot of people missed this, but when they showed Beyonce and Jay-Z, guess who was sitting right next to him? Jack Dorsey. See, they try not to zoom in on him, but he was wearing a Satoshi shirt. And I was thinking why he's there with them. And a friend that was with me yesterday said, well, because Jack Dorsey bought that title company from Jay-Z. That's probably why they're hanging out. Okay, so there's a connection there, but we didn't really see any Bitcoin commercials yesterday. I thought maybe there would be like a BlackRock ETF commercial. Nothing really. But we had Jack Dorsey at least for like 5 seconds. And of course, Kansas City won. I predicted that. I'm never wrong about Super Bowls ever. And Joe Biden turned into Bitcoin Maxi. I don't know what this is about, but Joe Biden, somehow this was posted on the official Joe Biden Twitter page. Does this mean that he's a Bitcoin Maxi now, or I don't know what else this could stand for. I don't know. Just like we drew it up, I don't know. It almost seems to be a play on maybe people thought that NFL is rigged and Kansas City Chiefs were going to win no matter what because of the tie with Taylor Swift. I don't know if this has anything to do with that, or it has to do with the fact that he's really going to turn into Bitcoin Maxi or something else. I don't know. I have no idea. No idea at all, but it's making Bitcoin go up, so that's all that matters. Anyways, we got some numbers from last Friday in terms of the ETF inflows. Yes, 541.5 million. That probably, outside of the first few days, the strongest inflow we have seen so far. $500 million of Bitcoin went into the ETFs. Okay, remember, I've said this. There's a compounding effect here, okay? Because there's so much Bitcoin being eaten up, of course, it's causing a supply shock, which of course causes the price to go up, which of course causes more people to buy ETFs, which of course causes more supply shock. And then it goes on and on and on and on. And it's starting to build up. Very little is being sold from Grayscale, and a lot is being bought and going into these funds, okay? This is going to be a big thing. Throughout this year and next year, ETFs are going to be huge. There are, I guess the best way to think about it, they are amplifiers, basically. if we have a very good Bitcoin pump, this will amplify even more. Okay. Because again, all the institutions that before that never had ability to buy direct Bitcoin or didn't want to now can get exposure. And right now, Bitcoin is leading the way. If you just use history and you look at what is the fastest horse in the race, it's always Bitcoin. In bull runs, nothing comes close to beating Bitcoin as an asset class. It's not even close. And these big institutions are not stupid, okay? They could do a little research or ask ChatGPT to tell them what's the fastest appreciating asset in bull runs. And even AI will say Bitcoin. They're all looking at Bitcoin. So this is going to be a reoccurring thing. This week, we could definitely hit 50 and break above to 52, because if we're starting to get 500 million, 600 million, 800 million, $1 billion inflows every day, think about how fast that's going to add up. There's just not that many Bitcoin to go around. People still don't understand that. There's only so many out there circulating, and you can't print more like the Fed. That's why last week, if you look at it, this actually breaks down the weeks. Last week, we had almost a 14% gain. That's pretty good. The best gain we had so far in this early 2024. 14% gain. Can we get another 14% gain this week? Let's see. It's starting out great, so let's see where we end up, but it's going to get better because we're getting closer and closer to halving event. Only 66 days away, okay? And we're at 48,300, right? 48,300. Where will we be in 66 days? Well, that leads me to where, where this massive Fomo rally is coming. As we get closer, the supply shock, the buying, the price pumps is going to get more aggressive all around. Google searches, first of all, is starting to trend upwards. Okay, so that's good. So we're talking about not just institutional FOMO, but retail FOMO starting to build up. And institutional FOMO is here already. You got all the major banks and big financial people all talking about a record high and FOMO into Bitcoin. What's that about? See, this is the only asset class where the retail got right first and then institutions started coming in. Everything else is like kind of institutional driven, but then like retail follows later. Bitcoin was created for people, by the people, but now institutions are FOMOing in. But anyways, so as we get closer to the halving event, what's going to happen? Well, this is going to happen. So from a technical standpoint, we're only 42% away from all-time high, if you think about it. Actually, a little bit less, probably at 41% now. So as daunting as it seems to get back to previous high, we're really not that far off. If we're moving 14% in a week, 40% comes in 3 weeks. That comes really quickly. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention since we talk about it every single day, and so many of you guys do tune in every single day. But for those of you guys that have not been tuning in every day, realize that we're not that far off from our previous high. And we're not even at the halving event. So think about that. We could be at 50, 60,000. We could be at all-time high before we even hit the halving event. Think about it, right? So things are moving really quickly already. In case you guys have not been paying attention, we are moving up really, really quickly. So me talking about a FOMO train, a massive rally, all these things, it's happening. It's happening already. So pay attention. But this is saying, yeah, we're 42% off from all-time high, right? So this is a pretty good pattern of what Bitcoin could do, right? So the stock money lizards think that we may retest, we may go down a little bit, and then we're going to break into the 50s. Like I said, I think the next resistance is around 52 something, 53. And then we retest, and then boom, we go back up to previous high, right? I think that definitely is going to how it's going to happen. I don't know about all the retests because of the FOMO, because of the institutions buying, the ETFs, the supply shock. We may not get that retest. We may just keep on going. That 38 retest that we did have, that was a giant fake out, of course. That was kind of anticipated that after we get ETFs, all the big boys drive people out by driving Bitcoin down to 38. But now it's like, how are we going to see that again? I don't think so. I mean, we're rallying hard right now, guys. 48.5. Yeah, so I don't know if we're going to have any more retests, to be honest. I think we may just start doing that. But I told you guys, ETFs were going to be big. Okay? And it did not start out like nothing burgers. In 2017, futures came out and they were nothing burgers. This time around, they are not. And, of course, ETFs were approved, right, on a halving year. That's the big difference. If ETFs were approved, let's say in 2022, probably nothing burgers because it was crypto winter, but they got approved during the halving year when it's the most bullish too. So definitely, I mean, it's all going to add up. Okay, you guys will see. So when we break through to 70,000 by halving event, you guys will know that this definitely, the ETFs and everything else, and this year, why I'm so bullish and why I think this is going to be such a fantastic year. But here's something else that's really fantastic. If you look at all previous halving events, there's this like halving event candle pump, okay? Meaning that, yeah, you see a lot of candles, a lot of up candles, but there's usually one candle that pushes us past the previous high, okay? So it happened in 2012. We had a massive candle to push Bitcoin above high. It happened in 2016, a big candle to push us past high. It happened in 2021, a massive candle. So that means we're building up right now, okay? Right around the halving event or slightly afterwards, we're going to get that massive candle that pushes us above $70,000. This is on a monthly scale, guys, okay, in case you're wondering. So that candle could be already starting now because this is a 3-month candle. So it takes a while to register. So that means from now to May, which is after the halving event, we may see us do this massive pump to above $70,000, right? This massive rally. That's happened before. All these previous times, it has happened. The only time it didn't happen was 2021, but that's because we had the COVID crash. So it took a little bit longer, but it still happened months after a halving event. So that means if we're following the same path, we may be starting that already. We may be starting that, and we're still going up. We're still going up, guys. We're still going up. That's good. That's what she said. All right. And then last few things. Looking at a grander scale, of course, we've been looking at the 4-year cycle, but you know, there's a lot of predictions, right? A lot of predictions where Bitcoin is going to be this time around. We follow the same pattern over and over and over again. You know, if you look at fractal patterns, we're very similar to previous cycles, but the only difference is the dollar amount gets bigger every single time. This may be the last cycle where retail can actually afford any Bitcoin. Because after this cycle, when we're talking about Bitcoin in 6 figures or high 5 figures, even if it comes down, you know, this could be the last time for retail to actually accumulate. So if you think about that, it's amazing. Because according to this, if we're following the 2017 top, not the 2021 top, Bitcoin will be at like $500,000, right? I don't know if it could get up that much. Maybe It can because of the ETFs, because they're like an amplifier. And if we didn't have ETFs, we could be going up to 200, 250,000. But because we have the amplifiers, maybe we get pushed up even higher to 300, 400, 500,000, right? But think about it. If Bitcoin hits $500,000, even if it comes down, it might not even be in 5 digits anymore ever again, right? So that would be absolutely crazy. That would be crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to talk large figures. I know it. I mean, it just seems like it's all theoretical. It'll never go happen. But man, I can't wait one day when I'm streaming with you guys and I'm talking about Bitcoin is at 150,000. Like I can't imagine that day yet because obviously it didn't happen yet. But I know like next year when I have this stream, like June of 2025, and I'll be pulling up these charts and it'll show Bitcoin at 125, 150,000 and Solana at like, $1,500, right? And XRP still at 50 cents. Then I'll be able to refer to videos that I'm doing now telling you guys this is the last time to buy, right? Like that Fomo is building and that'll be awesome. And, I'll have evidence of that in a year. So that'll be awesome. All right. And then, and then lastly, just want to show you guys the ARK, ARK is saying the same thing. It's like ARK and Kathy Wood is so bullish. She's talking about just in terms of all the assets out there, right? If just a tiny amount came into Bitcoin, just a tiny amount. Okay, Bitcoin, even if it was just 1%, it would drive Bitcoin to 120,000. If it's about 4.8%, it would drive Bitcoin to 550,000. If it's 19.4%, which is what they recommend, it would drive Bitcoin to $2.3 million. Think about it, $2.3 million per Bitcoin. So if you have one Bitcoin, this is why it's so significant. And I told you guys this before. Some people say, hey, I'm a whole coiner now, right? Like right now, that's already impressive. You're talking about almost $50,000 that you have in Bitcoin. For many of you guys, it's not because you have multiple Bitcoin. But think about it. Just having one Bitcoin could make you a millionaire in the next 5, 10 years. Just by having one. And when that point happens, when it's 7 digits for one Bitcoin, think about how many retail investors could get in then. It'll be impossible for a normal family, a normal individual to buy Bitcoin then. You have to buy such low amounts, just very little, 0.001 to be able to afford anything. So that's why having a whole coin is so important. Very, very important. 77 new wallets with balances over 1,000 Bitcoin have been added in the last 2 weeks alone. Some of it's probably the ETFs, but a lot of it is not. Again, I made this point a lot in this in this video. Grab as much as you can. That's all I can say. Grab as much as you can. The FOMO train has started. We will be at 50,000 in no time. We'll be at 70,000 in no time. And it's only the second week of February in 2024. We're not in June. We're not in October, okay? The year is not close to being finished. We just started. So, think about that. All right. That's it. That's all I want to talk about. And we can watch this go up and up. We might even break yesterday's, that spike during the Super Bowl. We were at 48.8. We may be breaking that in minutes here, guys. It's looking good. It's looking real good. All right, let's do Q&A. All right, let me scroll up. Man, I kind of lost my voice. Too passionate today. When I get too passionate, man, it drains my voice and energy. Uh, Maybe this pump is just due to Biden becoming a Bitcoin maxi now. I don't know. Maybe that's what this is about. I still want to know whoever is controlling his Twitter. I want to know what this is based on. Like what are they trying to say? I don't know. I really don't. 50K by tonight. It could happen, yes, for sure. Uh, Could you show the halvings start from 1 Satoshi? Fun to see the numbers. Well, I did, didn't I? You mean like this? Yeah, in 2012, what? It was like $12. 2017 was about 800. 2021, it was about 11,000, and you know where we are right now. I don't know where we will be at halving, but it could be at 60, 70,000 already. We're moving so quick. Those ETFs, man, those ETFs are probably soaking up another $500 billion today. There's 541 million on Friday. I mean, and Bitcoin's pumping right now. So what do you think the number is going to be? Like, it's probably going to be like 600, 700 million today. It's going to be huge. And of course, that in turn is going to cause Bitcoin to go up more because these funds have to go buy more Bitcoin, right? At some point, it might be happening already because all these buys are from OTC, from Coinbase. But what if Coinbase says, no, I don't have any more to sell you guys? Then where is it going to come from? I'm waiting for that day when there's so much FOMO and Coinbase really closes their doors and says, hey, we can't sell to you guys anymore because we have to cater to our retail investors who's also buying by the billions per day. I just wonder what's going to happen then when the supply shock really starts kicking in and there's just not enough to go around. That could come this cycle. Joe Lamas, you're asking a question that's non-Bitcoin related or crypto related, but that's okay. Rank 1 through 3 the following mini SUVs. None of those are SUVs, guys. Joe Lamas, those are considered compact SUVs. None of them are SUVs. I'm sorry. I was thinking minivans. I was looking at that wrong. Yeah, they are mini SUVs. They're compact SUVs. I don't know. I would go CRV RAV4 than CX5. CX5 is just too small. It's way too small. And it doesn't drive very well, to be honest. So Johnny Five, back from a few weeks in Japan. Wow. I've never been to Japan. Um, I'm glad, Johnny. You've been with me for a long time. I know it hasn't always been a good experience, but hopefully you're staying strong and you're DCAing because this is going to be a massive cycle. Massive cycle. Would you? JC's asking, would you buy a Cybertruck? I have my order in, but I'm starting to hear that they rust based on just hitting water. Like people leaving their Cybertrucks out, and it's starting to rust. I mean, that's really concerning that a car has no clear coat and it rusts. Every day I hear more and more stuff about the Cybertrucks that makes me not want to take delivery of it. So I don't know how I feel about that. I did go to the Chicago Auto Show, Barry, and it was the most pathetic auto show I've ever seen. It's I don't know what happened. You know, like last year was okay. This year is one fourth the size as last year. And the cars revealed sucked. There was no reveals at all. Car manufacturers must be really hurting this year. Really, really hurting. Like no one showed up. And the ones that didn't present anything new. Will Dot 2.0 be good enough to compete with the others? I have no idea. I mean, their parachain, their parachain idea just never worked out well. And someone like Cosmos and Avalanche now has just a lot more momentum. So I don't know enough about 2.0 and whether or not it's going to change them around. But the good thing is they're still one of the big boys, I guess there's always a chance. There's a lot of people that like Dot and hold Dot. No, Chicago Auto Show has been pretty good. I mean, it's always they always have them order, but in the past they have revealed big ones. So it's usually LA first, then Chicago, then Detroit, then New York. But manufacturers pick and choose which ones they do reveals and stuff. But there was nothing. Because honestly, there's nothing good. I saw the new Santa Fe finally in person. It looks like a big minivan. On paper, it looks like a rugged SUV, but honestly, it looks like a big square minivan. It sits really low to the ground. Saw the new Land Cruiser. It looks like a cheap version of a 4Runner. I seriously, I'm like really disappointed with all these cars. What else did I see? The GTD from Ford. I mean, it wasn't that impressive. It wasn't $300,000 impressive. I don't know if there's any other memorable cars. They all kind of like they're just normal cars. Diego plans on covering it. I have before. They're okay. They're in the Cosmos system, and they do a lot of the same things that the other Cosmo chains do. So they're okay. Oh my God. 48.8. We just briefly broke through yesterday's high. Max says, I need to buy a building. I have to sell at least 50K from my portfolio. Should I sell ETH or Sol? Ooh, I don't know. I can't answer that for you. You have to decide. But for me, I think Sol's going to have a much better year than ETH this year. That's all I can say. But you have to decide what to sell. What's Red Tick? Jerry's asking, I don't know what Red Tick is. Never heard of it. Man, we're going to hit 49 soon. Crypto Casper, we know. Bitcoin's not going to zero. In fact, yesterday I was talking to my oldest son. Man, he's like so into it. He collected a whole lot of money because of Chinese New Year. And basically anytime he gets money from my parents, you know, like, you know, for his birthday or anything like that. He just wants me to put it into crypto now. Like he like literally he handed me $350, and he's like, Dad, just go put it into 50% Bitcoin, and then get me some, you know, some alts. He knows about Polygon and Ethereum. He's like, maybe put some in there and put in some others. Like, he's really serious about it. Like, that's how I feel. Like, a lot of you guys, if you have young kids, if you can get them interested, and not even just like force them to like know about crypto, but if you just kind of teach them a little bit about money and about investing and about saving, by the time they're 18, they're gonna be like freaking millionaires. So my oldest son gets it. My youngest son just does not care. But it's the same thing. It's like all of us that's been in, have only been in since what? You know, 10 years max. But most people have just been in a space for 5 years. And look at how fast things have moved. Imagine if your kids have, you know, 10, 15 years, you know, how high things will be, right? Perry, when we hit 50K, I'll bust out the blue label. I don't know how much it's going to cost to live stream on Times Square billboard. That would be interesting if they actually offer that, if they allow you to, to stream from there. I can't imagine how much that would cost. What can you do to lower capital gains below 20%? My tax guy told me nothing. Yeah, nothing. But you can start a business and have deductions to take away from your gains. So there's always that. Johnny, I did not see what video he put out. So in case you guys are wondering, the next level, I already drew this out, is about 52.3. So we have broken out of here, right? We have not held yet, but once we do, I think 52.3 is going to be the next stop. And we have to go all the way back to here. Last time we were that high was December of 2021. Man, that was 2.5 years ago. And you could see above 52.3, that's when things get really wild. Okay. We were not above 52.3 for that long. This was a 1 month, no, 2 month, 1.5 month stint. This was about maybe 3 months. So this will be absolutely huge. If we break through this, we could be doing the same kind of spike to 70,000 in very short order. So that's the next stop. I don't know if we have enough of momentum to do so. If you're looking at a daily scale, RSI is high, but not nearly as high as some of these peak times when Bitcoin went to 90. We're at 77, so we definitely do have enough room before we have to retrace. So I think we could definitely hit 52.3. We have enough. Man, if you look at a 4-hour chart, this is looking good. Stochastic just bottomed out. Stochastic bottomed out. So that's actually really awesome. John from Sacramento, did you see the email? Turbo would like to partner with George. I did not see that email, actually. Maybe it went to my spam. NMCT, does anyone else think how ridiculous that Bitcoin was worth 330 billion just over 13 months ago. We're about to hit 1 trillion market cap. Yes. Yes. I mean, this is how quick things move, right? For what? How many years since our top? I've been telling you guys to stay focused, stay strong, DCA. Better days will come. We will go back to our previous high. You know, I've been doing that for years. Years, guys. Is this what I believe in? And I had all my money in. I saw it go all the way from the top, all the way to the bottom, now coming up, right? This is the reason why. Because when we flip and we start going above, it gets really good. And I've lived through several cycles. I've seen them. And I have never been as bullish as I have been. Because I just know. I just know that this year is going to be good. It's going to be really good. And those of you guys that have stayed with Bitcoin and crypto, you will see how good it's going to be. And you will be rewarded. That's all I could say. I got my eye on AIT up, yes, 48%. It's an AI play. It's an AI play. I don't know all the things that they're doing, but it is like a hyped up AI play. But I did see them go up a lot yesterday. I'll have to do more research into that. What else is going up today? Well, Bitcoin is leading the way. I did notice that BTC dominance have been going up a lot. So Bitcoin has been getting stronger. A lot of alts have not been moving. They've been holding. But of course, that always happens, and they will get their turn. The money will flow out once Bitcoin finds its next, consolidation period. Money flows out and alts start pumping. But I was not wrong about Chainlink, guys. A couple weeks ago, I said I'm going to go very heavy into Chainlink. I strongly believe CCIP is going to carry them. And, I went back yesterday. I looked at it. At that point, it was 17. So now they're above 20. So that's pretty good. Almost 20%. And they're in the top 10, I realize. But yeah, I'm really bullish still on Solana and Avalanche and Chainlink as well. And they're big caps already, but I think they're going to have fantastic futures. Today, Immutable X is doing very good, pumping up. No particular reason, but Immutable X does have a big, partnership with Beam and with Polygon. So they're doing very well right now too. But you got Optimism that's doing very good today. Obviously, ETH L2, Stacks doing good. Whenever Bitcoin does good, Stacks does really good. They're going to continue to do really well this year. I know that for sure. Sui is also doing very good, looking very strong these days. And then, what is it? Mina's another one. Beam is having a very good day today. Very good day today. I mean, we're going to start seeing all these flip into the green soon, guys. Oh, we're going to see 49. We're going to see 49. Angel Ray. Unfortunately for Gala, I'm not sure if they can actually pull back. I hope they can, but, they just lost so much momentum, and their founders caused a lot of ruckus by suing each other. So I'm rooting for them. I was very bullish on Gala before, but there's a lot of, oh, we just hit it. Oh, there we go. We could, Yeah, it's gonna start moving fast. You know, I don't know. The way we're moving, we could hit that next mark 42, 52.3. I don't know if it's too soon to call that, but like we could be hitting that by tonight. The way we're going right now, once we break through 50, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it happens. Once we break through 100, I'll have to buy something more expensive than Blue Label. A Macallan 18 or something. Or that King Louis the 13th cognac or something like that after we break through 100. Tavio, I don't know about this ERC 404 standard. You know, it's combining NFT and tokens together, so I'm not sure. It could be a thing, or maybe not. ZTX team has people from Apple, Roblox, and EA. You know, unfortunately, there's a lot of projects that have people from other projects, but unless they're like the founder of, say, Roblox and EA, it doesn't mean much. You can always find some developer from EA. There's a lot of games that have that. So, I don't know. 49ers loss. Yeah. That was a brutal loss for 49ers. I didn't think Kansas City could do it. But in OT, they were just unstoppable in the last drive. Yush, thank you for that. Maybe no more George effect. Let's move to the Fink effect. Well, I'm telling you guys. Oh no, let's not look at that. These ETF inflows are going to increase from here on out. We had a strong 541 million day on Friday. Today, seeing how Bitcoin's go pump above 49, and not surprise me the inflow will be 600 plus or 700 plus. And it's going to be a compounding effect, and ETFs are an amplifier on the market. I mean, don't get me wrong, it can amplify, go both ways. If we have a sudden crash, the ETFs will make it worse. But right now, there's nothing that seems like will crash Bitcoin. This is the time to be bullish, and there's so many bullish factors in play. So this is going to be an amplifier that will drive Bitcoin up and up and up. What do you think about ISO 20? I don't like them. I don't care. Like coins that say we're ISO 200222 standard or whatever, it's nonsense. We're trying to get away from banking standards, not adopt banking standards. So I don't even know why project would like brag about that. Like, oh, we're adopting some new banking standards. Are you trying to replace the banks? Why are you talking about banking standards? If we crack 100K, buy Pappy Van Winkle 15-year. What kind of alcohol is that? Let me look it up. How much is even this bottle? It looks weird. Oh, $120? Yeah, Blue Label already costs more than that. Well, Algorand and Ave make a comeback this cycle. I'm not a big fan of Algorand, but yeah, probably eventually. And same deal with Ave. I think they'll just be a little bit slower. Right now, like, I hate to say, a lot of the ETH-based projects like Aave, even though they're multi-chain now, but like I'll just still associate most of their volume is on ETH. They're a little bit slower. Everything else, all the DeFi plays on other chains are definitely moving a lot faster. But I do think Aave and Compound, they'll get back to their previous high. And Algorand probably, but still, they might take a little bit longer. Above 49 again. Let's see if we can hold. We can hold 49. If you drank every time they showed Taylor yesterday, you'd be drunk on your mind. Did you guys see the thing about that one Spice Girl that was next to Taylor Swift, and she was making some satanic hand gestures? I don't think people noticed, but like people pointed out. She was making some weird hand gestures. So when they were showing Taylor, they showed that. It was just weird. Cristiano, that's 120 if you get it direct, which is impossible. Look at the price of the Pappy 15. Oh, really? But is it really good, though? I can't even find it. I went to Binny's and I can't find it. Anyways, I'll figure out what expensive drink to buy. Okay. How do you feel about Senator Warren's? I don't care anything about Pocahontas. Okay. She could propose 100 million different kind of bills. None of them ever get passed. Retro Bill says, my sister-in-law said I'm guaranteed to lose all my money in crypto. Time to close up shop. It was a good run. People that don't get, they just don't get it. Okay, there's no point in debating them. I realize that there are some people that you can't help. You try, and if they refuse to listen, it's okay. You know, the better way to think about this, even though it's self-serving and it makes you like, you know, feel a little selfish, I guess, is the fact that the people that you can't convince, well, that's only going to help you, right? Because if the whole world adopted Bitcoin already, then that means there's very little chance it's going to go up because everyone already holds it. The reason why it's going up is the supply shock factor. There are so many people that don't hold Bitcoin. So when they eventually do and FOMO in, that's how you're going to be prosperous because you're going to be one of the first ones, right? So I guess that's how I rationalize it. Like the people that don't want to learn, don't want to care about, you know, don't care about it, don't want to listen to it. Okay, that's fine. But it just helps the rest of us, right? We're going to benefit. And eventually when they do the top, this will be too late. That's when Bitcoin will be at $1 million plus. Chug a old English 40 ounce. I don't know if that's a good idea. You know, it's just not for everyone, okay? There are some people, not everyone can get wealthy investing in Bitcoin, okay? It's just like not everyone could be a business owner. Not everyone could be an athlete. You know, it's just some things are not right for some people. It just won't click in their head, right? Or they don't have the motivation, or they don't want to learn about it. It's okay. It's okay. But you'll be the one that's driving your Lambo around while they drive their, you know, RAV4 around. All right, guys. I think let's conclude here. So Bitcoin obviously is doing very well right now. 48.8, surpassed 49 a little bit. Let's see if we can go back up. I think we have a really good chance of hitting 50K by tonight. And then I'll drink some Blue Label. But overall, this massive rally that I hinted today, I mean, we're already in it. We're starting. Okay, you just look at all the charts. Look at what's going on right now. We're already moving upwards, and these ETFs are going to amplify our movement and cause things to be even more explosive. So 60K, 70K, can we see it soon before halving event? I think it's really realistic. The chances are good. So stay strong, my friends. It's going to be even better. So smash out a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right, have a good one. Bye-bye.